Hey, I'm Aja A, and welcome to Sunshine Haze. Don't forget to check out all the links that I have listed down in the description box, and if you like the video, please give me a little thumbs up. If you have any questions after the video is over, feel free to drop them down below. I try to respond to everyone. And if you all know people interested in astrology, numerology, tarot, or whatever I'm talking about on this channel, go on and send them this link. And don't forget to hit subscribe. And of course, thanks for tuning in and rocking with me. May this info help y'all live your best lives. Peace. Hey y'all, welcome back to SunshinehazeCo. I am Aja A. For those of you guys that don't know me, welcome. For those of y'all that have been rocking with me since however long you've been rocking with me, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. It's been kind of quiet on my channel. I did take a little bit of a hiatus. Nothing was really going on. I just took a break, but a lot of good things came from that break. But we are back on track. We are back in business, and we ain't out of retrograde season. Not even in the least. So I did want to come in here and still give you guys some insight into these retrogrades that we are dealing with. We're still very much so in the cluster, as I like to call it. So this video is going to be about the Neptune retrograde in the sign of Pisces, the fishies. So to start, this retrograde started back in June, I believe, like the 23rd maybe, and I'll get to that point in here when I get to those notes, but I'm pretty sure it was the 23rd of June. I think it was the 5th planet to join the cluster. We had Mercury happen in retrograde. We had Mercury retrograde in Cancer at the time, so maybe that's why I took a break, because y'all know I'm a Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Venus. But so yeah, we had hella planets in retrograde, which, if it means anything to you guys, it probably has a lot to do with why things have been so stagnant, why things haven't actually been able to move forward, even though we've been putting in the work, okay? And I'll get to that in a little bit, but first I want to talk to y'all about what a retrograde actually is. It is actually an optical illusion. It is when a planet is in the sky and it appears as if it's spinning backwards, which is not what is happening. When you have a planet going retrograde or stationing retrograde, what happens is the planet stops, it turns, and then it passes over points or degrees that it's already passed over, and then it stops and stations direct again and passes over those degrees again, but going in the direction it was originally going in. So it appears as if the planet is spinning backwards in the sky, but it's not actually spinning backwards. It's stopping and moving and then stopping and going again, or turning and then moving and then turning and going again, okay? So as far as the energy is concerned, when we talk about retrogrades, especially if you just Google like retrograde path, you'll be able to see the little Z that I'm talking about. But as far as when we talk about energy in regards to the retrogrades, I like to reference this, that they are a time to reflect and correct. So, you're going one way, then you stop and you turn, and you get to go over spaces. You get to kind of look back and see the spaces that you've passed over, kind of take your insight, figure it out, and then you stop and then you move forward again now that you've gained this insight. So, people hear the word retrograde and they're like, oh my gosh, everything is about to get crazy and wild. And sometimes it does. That's more so with the personal planets. But you don't always give the bad things to the retrograde. Sometimes they can amplify things that need to be corrected or reflected upon in our lives, okay? I took an allergy pill earlier. I did go outside. I'm like, I didn't even go outside. I did go outside. I went and put my plants on the balcony. So this retrograde is actually happening in the sign of Pisces, the fishies with two tails tied together, swimming in different directions. One is swimming towards the surface, one is swimming towards the depths. But there is this pool, this aspect of, there are these infinite possibilities. So we have Pisces being the sign that this planet is in retrograde in, okay? And as I mentioned earlier, this is what I consider an outer planet, what is considered a social planet. And the social planets do not necessarily, when the retrograde time comes, they don't necessarily, affect us on, sorry, ain't shit changed with the game apparently. Apparently still can't make it through a full video without either tripping over my tongue or having to clear my throat excessively. I apologize in advance, y'all. So, this is an outer planet. Neptune is an outer planet, which means that this retrograde is going to affect us on a more subconscious level, okay? So these things may not necessarily manifest in the physical for us right away, We'll more so start to see the work that we've done, the changes that we've made, the lessons that we've learned start to physically manifest once this planet stations direct, I believe in November, end of November. So we'll really start to see things starting to pop off towards the end of the year going into 2021, okay? There was something else that I wanted to say about that. Oh, with this being an outer planet, typically the things that the retrograde touches, they tend to be more on a spiritual or a subconscious level, all right? And Neptune is actually the planet associated with our subconscious, with our spirit, with our goals, our dreams, our aspirations, and our psychism and our spiritual abilities. So as far as this retrograde is concerned, that is actually what we're looking at, and it's in a planet that very much so goes well with that spiritual and psychic influence, okay? So yeah, I mentioned earlier, this retrograde started in June. It did happen on June 23rd. It started on June 23rd in 20 degrees. It will be going through November 28th. Yes, November 28th. That's one of my best friend's birthdays. And it'll be ending in 18 degrees. So this retrograde, as I mentioned earlier, the outer planets move very slow. So it's only going over 2 degrees that it has already passed over before, in which I'll talk about the numerology a little bit further into the video, okay? So as I mentioned earlier, Pisces is a fish with the tails tied together, swimming in different directions. As you guys know, Pisces is very imaginative. They can also be romantic. They're empathic, and they tend to carry a very highly vibrational, spiritual, and or psychic energy. So, you know, with Neptune being the planet that governs these aspects as well, it means that Neptune is at home in Pisces. So although this is a retrograde, this is actually a very harmonious astrological thing happening for us. This means that we really do, with this retrograde period, get to focus on the things that this planet governs, focus on the things that this sign is associated with, and because they are literally compatible, they belong to each other, and as far as astrology goes, you will really get to see a shift in those areas when this planet stations direct. And also keep in mind that goes with wherever Neptune is placed in your chart, or whatever it's passing over in your chart, okay? So anytime I usually talk about something happening in Pisces in the cosmos, I'm like, look, y'all, please don't get tossed and lost at sea. And I'm still going to give you that warning. Please heed that warning. But I will say, with this planet being at home in Pisces, the waters will not be as wild, okay? But also, again, keep in mind that depends on what your chart looks like. Excuse me. So there's a few points that I want to touch on in regards to this retrograde. And the first I want to talk about are dreams. And I'm going to talk about that in a couple of different aspects. First and foremost, we're in a retrograde period. And I'm going to talk about dreams in regards to our goals and our aspirations and the things that we truly desire, we feel spiritually pulled to, feel called to. During this retrograde period, from June to the end of November, in June to the end of November, is going to be a time where a lot of us are going to be pulled to work on our passions, pulled to put work into the things that we are very much so interested in, as opposed to the work that we've been doing, so to speak. A prime example, I am currently on a leave from my job. They all scared us into doing this, and they still finna furlough us, but they could really furlough my ass now, because I'm about tired of them as of the day I was hired. But tangent, sorry y'all. Fuck, allergies are so trash. Please excuse me. I'm so sorry. Excuse me. So anyways, you know, I've been on this leave, and I know a lot of people are struggling with not working, struggling with not being able to find jobs, and I do understand, but please, you guys remember, everybody's life is different. I have enjoyed the hell out of not being at my job, because I've been home and I've been able to work on my own stuff. I've been putting my energy into the things that I'm passionate about. I've cracked out old production binders and scripts that I haven't looked at in years. Y'all, I bought some beats to work, to actually put out my music. Like, I have been putting energy into the things that are actually my dreams, and not necessarily what I have had to do to sustain. So that is an energy that is going to be resonating very strongly over this retrograde period. So what I will tell you guys is, when you feel the notion to work on something that you're passionate about, when you feel the notion to, and you're pulled to do something creative, do it. When you feel like there's an opportunity for you, and you know you can probably achieve it so long as you do some type of work, and you know what that type of work is. Do that type of work, okay? When this planet stations direct, I guarantee you what you're working on now, especially in regards to if you're passionate about it, it is one of your dreams by way of Pisces, by way of Neptune. You're going to see it start to unfold and start to manifest in the physical towards the end of the year, okay? And in the other aspect, talking about dreams, I'm literally talking about our dreams. And so people have different beliefs about dreams, but if you watch my channel, I might as well get you hip to what it is that I think, what I believe. I believe that some of our dreams sometimes do stem from our subconscious, and I believe that those dreams happen when we have things weighing heavy on our subconscious, when we have important decisions to make, when there are things going on in our waking lives that are really weighing heavy on our minds. However, I believe that we spend most of our time in what I like to call the ethers, aka the dream world. I believe that our higher selves, our spiritual selves, our etheric selves are out there floating in the ethers, floating in the mystics, floating in the magic, and also doing work that we can't necessarily do in this physical realm while we are sleeping, going out to mix and mingle with the energies that we may not have crossed paths with here, going to speak to our guides, our angels, our ancestors, whatever. Listen, the ethers is a wild ass place. Like I have always been into analyzing my dreams, and as I get older and I learn more, especially in this field, y'all, get into dream work. Get into it. It's pretty interesting. A lot of things unfold. But with that being said, Pisces is associated with the dreams, and Neptune it also governs our dream lives, our dream states, so our subconscious. So anything that is coming, what are they doing outside? Anything that is coming to you by way of when you are sleeping, when you wake up, try to write it down, try to journal it, try to analyze it, try to figure it out, talk to people that are into analyzing dreams, whatever you can do, because it is, I can almost guarantee you that by way of this Pisces Neptune retrograde energy, your messages are going to be coming to you while you're sleeping. So pay attention to them, okay? The next point that I wanted to hit has to do with spirituality. Neptune shares rulership over spirituality with Jupiter, but Jupiter is more so in regards to like religion and like spiritual beliefs. Neptune is more on the actual spiritual side, the actual energy in regards to these belief systems. So over this retrograde period, because Neptune does have to do with our spirituality and with our psychism, this is going to be a period of time to where, a lot of us might be, really thinking about our religious practices, maybe moving away from some religious practices or researching new religions or new ways to practice spirituality. Some people might shift into more like holistic approaches. Some of you might shift into prayer. It just depends. But this is a time, and understand that Pisces is also a water sign. And so water, the element of water, people with those energies tend to just go with the flow, and Pisces very much so tends to go wherever the current takes them. Scorpio kind of rests on the bottom of the ocean, and so does Cancer. We come to the beach sometimes, but we still be in our shells, but Pisces really be out there in the waters and doing whatever they see fit. So if there are spiritual pulls or spiritual tugs, or you feel inclined to research certain things, go on and do that. It's very highly possible that there may be something for you that resonates. There may be something that can help you through whatever it is that you're working through, or something that you can pick up on that you can apply to your life, okay? And also with that being said, Neptune and Pisces having to do with psychism and spirituality and spiritual gifts and abilities, this is definitely a time to where, do I have to clear my throat again or no? I do. Excuse me. Definitely a time to where we will be putting a lot more work and effort into the development of these psychic and spiritual abilities. So if you are somebody that's already tapped into your magic, your power, I would definitely, over these next 6 months, especially if you've kind of, chilled out, kind of taken a step back, I would take some time to, kind of try to incorporate a regular spiritual routine. Like me, I had to sit down when I did all my birthday readings, and I haven't adhered to it, but I figured like this is going to be a time to where I get reacquainted with spirit, reacquainted with my gifts. And so I need to be, pulling a card every day. If I don't have the time to sit down and do full readings, I need to, be meditating when I get up in the morning like I used to. So tapping back into whatever it is your spirituality is, or tapping into the research of what it is you want your spirituality to be. But that will be very prominent over the next 6 months. And when you see yourself towards the end of the year, coming into the new year, a lot of these spiritual practices, a lot of the work that you did with the spiritual practices, you'll see how it really benefited your growth and your well-being. You'll be able to look back in retrospect like, oh shoot, that was Neptune and Pisces being all retrograde in the cosmos. Okay. What are my other points here for Pisces? Very quickly, because Pisces is associated with love, but I don't give Pisces all the heart chakra energy. I do call Pisces a free love sign. I say they go wherever their heart takes them. And, that's something to admire and to envy and to also question. Like, you go wherever your heart takes you now. But, so I did want to touch a little bit on love in regards to this Pisces Neptune retrograde. And just very quickly, for those of you guys that are in relationships, especially because it is a retrograde period and this sign does have that heart chakra connection, even though I don't give it that much heart. I am so heart chakra, but like emotions are a lot, so I'll be like to anything heart chakra. I don't like rose quartz, y'all. But with this being a time where we're looking at our spirituality, with our spiritual needs, our own ascension, our own growth, okay? If you're in a relationship, this may be a time to where, there are some things that start to kick up in the waters with this retrograde period. And I'll keep it very honest with y'all, very real with y'all. Anything that starts to pop off during a retrograde season is usually an indicator that that's not something that you need to be in. Now, because we're talking about Pisces, and Pisces is a very spiritual sign, and Pisces is led by the heart, it is very highly possible that if these things are popping up in your relationship during this time, during these next 6 months, that you're in a karmic situation. And if you watch my videos, I say once you figure out that you've got the lessons and you've done the work where it needed to be done, get the fuck out of Dodge. When you stay in karmic situations longer than you need to be, that is when the shit starts to hit the fan, and you literally find yourself in the space of, oh fuck, it's too late. I'm fucked up. So for those of you in relationships, if this Neptune retrograde is kind of pulling at your relationship, I would definitely suggest taking some time to look at your relationship and seeing if that's what it needs to be for you. Okay. Now, on the other hand, just on a general level in regards to love, this is going to be a time to where we are in our heads, where we're in ourselves. We've gone within to really think about what really makes our heart beat, what makes our heart tick, what makes our heart happy, what do we need, what do we want, and how can we start to put that energy out? How can we incorporate that into our lives? Again, doing all of this so when this planet stations direct towards the end of the year, is going to be really fucking popping for you. So for those of you, if you're like, I think this might not be the relationship for me, it's a lot of shit going on, it's probably not going to be a thing that you break out of very quickly. But wouldn't be surprised that towards the end of the year, you might be moving out of that situation or moving into something different or moving into some sort of situation with yourself. For those of you guys that aren't necessarily applying this love insight into a relationship, it's highly possible that towards the end of the year, you may have this new sense of self-love, self-worth, and also possible that you may have opened your energy up to attract the type of partner that you have been manifesting subconsciously. I say that with a wink because, listen, I know y'all be writing in. I know what y'all be writing in the intention journals, because I be writing it too. I ain't even gonna flex, I ain't even gonna front. So the last thing I want to talk about, the main point with this retrograde, which I think is the most important, and I am a prime example of it, is an emotional reset. Pisces is very much so associated with confused and very heavy and very powerful emotions at times. So with this being a retrograde period, reflect and correct, definitely allow the element of the Pisces waters to assist you during this period. It doesn't make any sense to be tossed and lost at sea if you're not at least shedding the skin and the scales that you no longer need, right? So this is a time for an emotional reset. I would not be surprised if a lot of us actually kind of pull ourselves back, go into isolation, and go within to really work on ourselves, work on our own stuff. And like I said, I'm using myself as a prime example. I took a break from this channel with nothing happening. There wasn't really a reason that like triggered me to say, oh, I need a break. Like, I actually was trying to record videos, and then like I think I was trying to record the June videos, like the June pick a card video or something, or July maybe. And like, I sat down, I got everything ready, and then I was just like, you know, I am not ready to be out there. I'm not ready to be sharing my energy with everybody right now. This feels good. I like what's happening here. Let me ride the rest of this wave. When it's time for me to pop back out and do videos, I'll know. And so I put all my shit away and went back into my own emotional reset. I went back into my own, you know, finding my zen. So during this period, during these next 6 months, I wouldn't be surprised if we are all at different points, you know, kind of removing ourselves from the circle, kind of pulling ourselves back, kind of quieting down, not including ourselves in the conversation so much. And I think it's important for everybody to understand that this isn't a bad thing. This is actually a time for us to be doing that, and we're doing it on a subconscious level because we need to reset ourselves. We need to recalibrate ourselves so when Neptune stations direct, we can proceed forward with our ascension and our progression into these new spaces and new chapters and new energies, okay? So those are all the points I got for that. Very quickly, I mentioned a little bit earlier, Pisces can be a little aloof, a little tossed in the sauce, and I'm a little bit impressionable. So just be mindful of those energies during this retrograde period, especially in regards to things that are dealing with love and your relationships and your dreams and your goals and your aspirations, and also your spirituality and your psychism and your emotional well-being, okay? All right, let's talk very quickly about the numerology, and then I'm gonna let y'all go, but I'm gonna be real. We're gonna talk about this because I'm hungry. I'm like looking at this smoothie. Listen, y'all, I've also gone on to like a weight gain plan. I used to weigh, I'm not gonna tell y'all how much, but like I liked that weight. And I dealt with depression and anxiety for like off and on for a few years, and it caused me to lose quite a bit of weight that I've not been able to put back on. I've gotten kind of close, and then I'll start to lose it again. So I've also been on a weight gain kick, and let me just tell y'all, protein powder is nasty. And if y'all have any alternative suggestions, I would be so happy to accept them from you. Somebody told me about hemp hearts. I'm gonna get some tomorrow and see what's popping. But if y'all got any other suggestions as far as like type of protein supplements I can put into my smoothies, please let me know, because I have not found a successful protein powder yet that I could really just like stomach. Like, it'd be taking me 4 hours to drink these smoothies. Tangent. Anyways, this Neptune retrograde starts in 20 degrees, and it's actually happening on a 33-day. So there's very powerful energy coming in with this planetary retrograde. We've been in a wild ass year, just all around, and so this retrograde is coming in. It's bringing in the energy of coming into balance, coming into peace, coming into harmony, but you also carry this master number 33 energy, which is a highly spiritual vibration. It's considered the highest of the master numbers and the highest in the numerology charts when we're looking at breaking the numbers down. Master number 33 is considered the master teacher, so there's a sense of enlightenment in regards to this retrograde period. So you're going to be learning a lot about yourselves, a lot about life, a lot about this world, and the things that you learn are in turn going to trigger your reactions and how you proceed forward. And how you proceed forward is taking place during this retrograde. The way that you're going to react, the spiritual notions that you have, the reactions that you have, the type of energy that you put out, you're preparing yourself for that now during this retrograde period, okay? The retrograde is ending on a 7-day and 18 degrees. So there's this energy of truth that resonates there, and philosophy and divinity, and then also the energy of ascension and cycles, coming into new chapters and coming into new chapters in a positive space with a positive mind and a positive heart and hella positive vibrations, okay? So this Neptune retrograde is very much so really confirming everything that's happening on a collective level, and everything that's happening within our lives is not for nothing. I know everybody's sitting here like, when is this coronavirus shit gonna end? What is going on with this stupid election? Like, what is happening? And there's really not a light at the end of the tunnel for us right now. Everybody's just confused about what the hell is going on right now. But just understand that you just got to focus on doing the work that is necessary in order for things to play out in the most possible way. And with this numerical energy attached to this Neptune retrograde, there's going to be a lot of enlightenment, a lot of things coming in, and a lot of intuition being pushed into people to kind of shift our morality and the way that we act as a human race. And I could go on about that forever, but just know that Neptune in Pisces does contribute to a positive shift, but it might look a little crazy getting to that point. Okay, and I mentioned earlier that this retrograde is only moving over 2 degrees, so really everything that's happening, everything you're learning, everything that is transpiring in regards to the areas that Neptune governs and that Pisces is associated with, and then also remember, throw in where Neptune is transiting over your chart if you want a little bit more specifics. Okay, I would definitely suggest looking at that. But yeah, this retrograde happening to be moving over 2 degrees really just confirms that the things that this planet touches and this sign is associated with need to be put back into alignment. So this is a realignment period, and there's an introspective time for us, probably very many introspective times, but the things that we're learning while we're introspect, I don't know how you would say that, but the things that we're learning about ourselves and about the inner workings and the higher levels of these things that we deal with are definitely going to assist when it comes time to put it to test. Okay, so yeah, that is your Neptune in retrograde in wild ass Pisces. But I love me some Pisces in this the video's over. That's all I got for you guys. Again, just remember that Neptune is at home in Pisces, so this is a very harmonious placement. Everything that's happening is happening for a reason. Remember divine timing, and really the main thing with this retrograde is us getting clarity, clearing the waters up into matters of the heart chakra and our spirits and our higher selves. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, I'm back on my bully. I'm cranking out videos, so stay tuned on the channel. I'm recording hella videos today, so I don't even know when this one is going up or which one it's before, so I'm not going to tell you what to watch because it could be completely like not related or unrelated, and the Capricorn rising in me cannot do that. I can't. So I don't know what you should watch, but y'all should watch something. Check out my channel, the links, whatever. And thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for holding out and giving me a little bit of a breather. But I'm ready to kick game to y'all again. So welcome back. Hope y'all summer was good. Hope y'all are safe and healthy. And I will catch y'all next time. Peace.